Many people are angry in this country, in particular a lot of whites, because they say the Black Lives Matter movement has released a manifesto of the list of demands of what they want and what they believe. And in that list of demands of what they want, they list reparations, they list educational reform, healthcare reform. Those things, to me, are great things. And I think it's wonderful that they put something in writing to put before the world of what they really want and what's in the best interest of this nation in regards to black people. You know, many in this nation are asking, what should Black Lives Matter do? And in which direction should they go? The shooter in Dallas, Michael Johnson, is reported that he was angry with Black Lives Matter. And I understand why he probably felt that way, because he was of a real radical extreme mindset. And he's wondering why they are not at that same mindset that he
You're
is,
not giving this
and
guy,
really should not be.
You're not
but
forgiving
no,
this guy, are you?
That's not what I'm doing. But also what I am doing, I understand the conditions in America that produced a mindset like that. Injustice on a consistent basis breeds insanity. And that's what's happening in America with black people.
You know what's happening? Cornell, I want to talk to you about this last week. This young 10-year-old, very intelligent-looking young lady, a black young lady at a Pearland school who will not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in her classroom. She doesn't want to stand up because apparently she believes that black Americans need a lot more to be done in this country. She is not willing to support the black Americans that have fought and died for this country. You know what I believe, Cornell? And I know you supported her publicly, but you know what I think? I think at 10 years old, she has no real understanding of what America is. So I wonder if her parents have sat her down and explained what Americans have given their lives, white, black, red. It doesn't make any difference. They stood and they fought and they died for this country, and she doesn't want to do anything to honor them?
Matt, she comes from a family of military service members. Her father is a retired military service member also, who served this nation well with great dignity. She also has additional family members who was in the armed forces.
Good.
Her mother's a very intelligent woman who has had long conversations, as well as her father, about her not standing for the flag. Many people are angry in this country, in particular a lot of whites, because they say the Black Lives Matter movement has released a manifesto of the list of demands of what they want and what they believe. And in that list of demands of what they want, they list reparations, they list educational reform, healthcare reform. Those things, to me, are great things. And I think it's wonderful that they put something in writing to put before the world of what they really want and what's in the best interest of this nation in regards to black people. But why are they angry about reparations, Ms. Box? Why would whites have a problem with reparations going to black people when they paid them to the Japanese Americans who were put in internment camps during the war with Japan? They paid it to the Indian brothers and sisters who they gave casinos on their reservations. They even helped the Jewish people get it from Nazi Germany and what happened to them in the Holocaust. So if you helped everybody else, you got a problem with helping those you kept enslaved for over 300 and something years in this nation, black people?
Okay, so take it down a notch. So in 2008, Congress actually passed a resolution that apologized for slavery. Blanket apology. But race hustlers, like in the Black Lives Matter movement, like Jesse, like Al, like ex-Barack Obama, the ultimate race hustler, they don't want things to change. They like the angst. They like things being ginned up. In the past 7.5 years, race relations have dramatically gotten worse in this country because of this leadership. And the bottom line is Black Lives Matter, DeRay McKeeson with his stay woke, looking like he's Jesus Christ being crucified. Give me a break. They are getting rich off the backs of leftists and off the backs of the black community.
Ms. Box, let me say this to you. We as black people don't need an apology in this nation. What we need is what was promised to us. They promised us after slavery 40 acres and a mule. We never got it.
That's actually not true.
No, we were promised that.
And
you know, hold on, one second.
After
one
Lincoln
second,
pretty much destroyed that.
But we were promised that, and we never got it. So that promise went unfulfilled to this very day. You cannot do that for others in the form of reparations and ignore the sacrifice and the suffering that black people made in this nation to make America what it is and say that we don't deserve it. That is racism.
Okay, listen to me very carefully. After the Civil War, President Jackson was the one that basically poo-pooed everything.
And he was a damn slave owner.
And he was a Democrat.
And Jackson was a slave owner.
So I didn't talk over you, don't talk over me. What the Democrat Party has done is re-enslave the black community. All those things that Black Lives Matter are about, except reparations, which is absolute ridiculousness. It's not going to happen. Education, healthcare, housing, all these things.
Ms. Box,
these are all urban problems that are in the hands of Democrats.
Slavery never ended in America.
That is, okay.
It never ended. Let me say this. Physical bondage ended, but political slavery, financial slavery, educational slavery, healthcare slavery, all of that never ended to this day in America for black people.
When are race hustlers going to stop and say, okay, we're not in chains anymore. America welcomes us. This is a land of opportunity.
We will say that.
One of the most debatable topics until today, even though we are talking about things that really happen, but black people are always asking for accountability, which is right. One of the most debated things is reparations. And the question is, why is it so much hard for white people to accept reparations? Brothers and sisters, in this debate, you're going to be seeing Colonel X. Colonel X is arguing that there are so many things that America has promised black people but has never delivered. To add on top of that, these people keep on deflecting from this truth because black Americans have contributed enormously to the growth of the United States. And this is something that they don't give credit where it belongs. So Colonel X is arguing against the idea that, racism is something that happened a long time ago. But it feels like, because when you say that racism is something that happened a long time ago, you are still not seeing systemic issues that are happening today that are still affecting black people. And so in this heated debate, we are going to see Colonel X trying to present his point. Well, it's not that I'm siding with Colonel X, but you definitely agree with me. If you're a person who have seen history, I've learned history. You understand that majority of things that was promised to black people, that including an acre and a mule, was never delivered to black folks, which still makes people question the United States. And another thing that I would like to point out up front is that these people are always trying to fight reparation big time. They're always trying to fight reparation big time. So when they fight reparation, this only means psychologically that they are not ready to acknowledge the sins that were done against black people. Because acknowledging reparation, it means that you accept that you played, that you are part and parcel in what happened during slavery to black people. Right? So I think it makes sense from this point when we argue that these people are trying to deflect from accepting the truth. And the truth is that all these folks benefited. They benefited when black people were put through all this suffering. It benefited them because they got free labor. It benefited them because now they got people that they can sell and get money. All these things happened. The enslavement of black people was profitable to these people. So they have a problem in acknowledging all these things that happened. Well, you've heard people say that racism is something that happened a long time ago. This is just a deflection. It's a deflection from accepting, from being accountable from the things that happened in history. Well, brothers and sisters, I don't want to say much. I want you to watch this video, and then I'm going to be back. I'll be giving my 2 cents in regards to this. And if you're watching me for the first time, I'm your host and presenter, Eugenic Stories, and I want to say thank you for all those who are supporting me. I want to say thank you to all those that have taken initiative to subscribe, like, comment on the video. Man, I'm really, really grateful for all the support that you all are giving me. So let's watch the video. I'll be back, and then we will have real talk in regards to this. So stay tuned.
With the same day you all write that check to black people called reparations for what we deserve.
You mean
wrote it to others, you sure as hell should write it to us.
All reparations is redistribution of wealth, another liberal scheme.
But you're only redistributing what you stole.
Okay.
So what's wrong with sharing and giving back for what you stole?
You know what? I want you to talk to black people who have successfully gotten out of the bondage, as you call it, and you call them slaves, Cornell.
A few select Negroes does not represent the suffering masses who are still there.
They're all Uncle Toms. No, Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. They continue to prove it.
And they've killed nobody. That's crazy as hell.
Their rhetoric has.
Many in this nation are asking, what should Black Lives Matter do? And in which direction should they go? The shooter in Dallas, Michael Johnson, is reported that he was angry with Black Lives Matter. And I understand why he probably felt that way. because he was of a real radical extreme mindset. And he's wondering why they are not at that same mindset that he
You're
is,
not giving this
and
guy,
really should not be.
You're not
but
forgiving
no,
this guy, are you?
That's not what I'm doing. But also what I am doing, I understand the conditions in America that produced a mindset like that. Injustice on a consistent basis breeds insanity. And that's what's happening in America with black people.
You know
with
what's
police
happening?
shootings.
You know what's happening, Quanell? There are black and white people that would like nothing more than for us to stay fighting because they somehow achieve a bit more money or a bit more prosperity or a level that they like. But they've got to make sure that white people and black people or any race are fighting each other and they're all jazzed up over something. Those people succeed. And that ain't me, and I certainly hope it isn't you either, Quanell, although I'm not so sure.
This nation, Matt, is at a crossroads. If we want to prevent another Michael Johnson, and I sit here with you for 6 years, and I warned you right from this seat that a Michael Johnson would be produced in America if injustice and police killings were not held accountable, these cops. And I'm warning you right now, brother. I'm telling you, you can take it or let it alone, and you don't have to listen, and this audience doesn't have to listen. But if they don't change, the next move, terrorist organizations from outside of America are going to try to connect with black people who are angry, disgruntled, and frustrated, and use them as an inside sale to strike America. That's what's coming.
His first stop was to an organization like yours, and, you know, the new Black Panthers. He thought maybe that would be the place to go. Can you imagine that in this guy's mind, he looked at you as someone that he could use to go after people like me?
I put the brother out.
I know you did.
Because I had no choice but to do so for the safety and security of the other members because of the brother's rhetoric. But at the end of the day, I understand what has produced that kind of mindset in many young black men. Don't you dare think.
That's a dangerous thing for you to say, Quanell.
Don't you dare think that Michael Johnson was the only one thinking like that in America. He is not. There are other black people in America across this country who think just like that,
Let me tell you something, Quanell. There's all different races and breeds of people that unfortunately are thinking that way because there's a fire lit under them by individuals that are smiling from ear to ear, hoping something like that does happen. I'll tell you who wants to see it is Hillary Clinton.
Man, ask yourself the question. If black cops were in white neighborhoods executing young white boys like they do black men, and they were never held accountable, what would you white people do?
Let me tell you something.
You would go to war. You would go to war.
44% more police officers just now in 2016 have been killed trying to do their job than all of last year.
But Matt, we have been fighting police brutality really publicly since the 50s.
You don't shoot them. You don't shoot them, Quanell.
Nothing has changed.
You don't shoot them.
I agree with that. And they should not be killed or targeted. But Matt, that 1% that they say is bad among them, that 99% better get off their ass and tell the truth and get rid of the 1% that's doing these things.
Well, you do the same thing.
Matt, we have been trying. Let me tell you something. If these racists on these police departments don't get off their ass and deal with the bad element, I'm telling you, there's going to be more Dallases in America.
Then you and I get together and we'll stand up and we'll help them get them off their ass. Let's do that.
I have no problem with that. But the chief and district attorneys got to be held accountable to hold everybody to the same standard when they commit a crime, cops and citizens.
So, Quanell, I want to talk to you about this last week. This young 10-year-old, very intelligent-looking young lady, a black young lady at a Pearland school who will not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in her classroom. She doesn't want to stand up because apparently she believes that black Americans need a lot more to be done in this country. She is not willing to support the black Americans that have fought and died for this country. You know what I believe, Quanell? And I know you supported her publicly, but you know what I think? I think at 10 years old, she has no real understanding of what America is. So I wonder if her parents have sat her down and explained what Americans have given their lives, white, black, red. It doesn't make any difference. They stood and they fought and they died for this country, and she doesn't want to do anything to honor them?
Matt, she comes from a family of military service members. Her father's is a retired military service member also, who served this nation well with great dignity. She also has additional family members who was in the armed forces.
Good.
Her mother's a very intelligent woman who has had long conversations, as well as her father, about her not standing for the flag. What white people need to understand is
Just
that,
white people?
Yes, please, let me explain. What white people need to understand is that that national anthem was written by Francis Scott Key, a slave owner.
Oh, here we go.
Who demonized and hated black slaves and black people. And that unwritten third, that unheard of and unspoken third verse, go research the third verse where he says, there's no refuge in this country for the hireling or the slave. Both should be turmoil to the grave.
How's her parents doing?
This is a man
Are they successful?
that promised turmoil for black people to the
So
grave. Would you ask Jewish children to say a pledge to a German anthem that disrespects Jewish people?
If they're
No, you
living
would
in
not.
Germany,
No,
sure.
you would not.
Well, sure.
That disrespects Jewish people?
Then
No,
why,
you would not.
You certainly can kneel down. In America, you have the right to do that. But what will happen to her, how her friends will respond, how the school will view her, how Americans will view her is very negative.
And,
this is not what you want for your 10-year-old child.
And let me say to that young girl and others like that young girl, America looked at the same way at Rosa Parks when she refused to get up and give up her seat to a white man on the bus. But history vindicated her. History vindicated her.
Two different
America
things.
demonized Harriet Tubman for freeing slaves from slavery, but history vindicated her. So I say to that young girl, you stand strong, stand up, and stand for what you believe in. And to all of those who are too coward to do it, don't get in that young girl's way. Others like her, support that young girl.
What would you like her to say to the men and women who have fought for this country like I ran into over the weekend? The black men and women who fought for this country and some who gave their lives.
And ask the black men and women who served America in its military, like in the Independence War. We helped America get it, and we were still slaves afterwards. Ask those in Vietnam who gave their war on Vietnam battlefields, but then came back and was called niggers in their own country. We have fought in America's war, and we've never been given the justice and the due process of everybody else in this nation.
Then
so
why don't you move to a different country? Why are you staying here if you don't like it?
Let me tell you why. Because the country belongs to Indians. You white folks stole it from them, raped and robbed their people. This not your country. You all came over here and stole it and beat the hell out of them. So this not your country.
It was my country.
You all need to go home.
If you're
you all need to go back where you came from.
If you don't like it, why don't you pack up and go?
Let the Indians decide who should pack up and go. And I guarantee you black folks will stay, and you all will be on the first damn boat leaving here. So don't try that, brother. You all didn't make America. This is not your country.
What you should do is sit down with someone who has fought for this country, Quanell. Get their opinion, too.
Tons of black people have, and what have we gotten from it?
Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching this video from. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to talk about it. You have seen the type of deflection that all these people possess. Because if this is a journalist, I think Colonel X interviewed the two journalists. The first one was a lady, the second one was a man. But all in all, something is really visible. And something that is visible here is that people are deflecting from taking accountability. Because if you accept blacks to get reparation, or if you accept black people to get what belongs to them, then it means that you have accepted that you played, that you are part and parcel of black suffering. That's all it means. And that's all it means. So you don't want to accept that because you don't want to be put in books, in history books. But we already know. People who understand history already know what transpired, already know what happened. And this is not just something that people are just making it up. This, brothers and sisters, this is something that happened. This is something that in every part of history, everyone knows that it happened. So the fact that we have these groups of people that are deflecting from the truth, it means that they are not ready to accept all these things that are happening. And again, one thing that I would like to point out is that we are seeing a media personality. These are journalists. These are people that hear information. So what does this sound to you? If this is a journalist and the place of media in sharing all this misinformation about Black Americans. Another thematic concern that we also need to address in regards to even after watching the video is that look at the way media personalities, I mean, these are journalists, these are people that present information to the masses of people. That shows you what is being consumed in the mainstream media. That exposes the truth. I mean, that exposes something that we all need to think about critically, right? Sometimes there are topics that needs critical thinking like this. This is a personality media. And imagine they have this type of thinking. They have this type of thought. So you want to tell me how masses of people think about this? Well, definitely they think the same. They think the same because at the back of their mind, they know that Black people should not get anything. Black Americans don't need a lot. Well, maybe it is, of course, it is varied what Black people want. Some people want reparations. Some people want acknowledgement. They want you to acknowledge that they're the ones who run, that they're the ones who have made things become possible for you in the United States. They want you to acknowledge that. But you realize that majority of these people don't want to acknowledge that. Some people need compensation. Some people, their ancestors, their lands were grabbed. Right? So there are so many things that we can talk about. But all these things, all these people want to do, they just want to deflect from the truth. They don't want to face the reality. They just want things to work in their way. That's what they want. And that's why they're not ready to accept all those atrocities that happen to Black people. They are not ready to accept that, brothers and sisters, because if they accept that, it means that they are conforming and believing that their ancestors or that they are playing part in benefiting to what suffering and what Black people went through. Because it is because of the Black suffering, it is because of what Black people went through, it is as to why some of all these white folks are rich. They are rich, right? They are rich because they did all these things to Black people and it benefited them in ways that they're the ones who can explain, in ways that they're the ones who know. So they benefited from all that. So when we talk about all these issues and how they happen or on how they come to affect people, you get to understand what I'm talking about. You get to understand what I'm saying. Right? So there's so much going on, even at this point. But the truth needs to be said. It is high time white people come out and accept that they benefited from the suffering, from the pillage, from the bondage that Black people were put through. They benefited from it all. When a Black person was treated like a commodity, they benefited from it all. Anytime a Black person was suffering, anytime a pain was inflicted on Black person, there's a price that Black people paid, and that's pain. The pain that is psychological, that is physical. The pain of being bred like animals so that your kids can continue working and producing more money. You see how crazy that is? But it is funny that we are in 21st century, but we have people that still don't want to accept the truth. That still feels like the truth hurts them. They don't want to accept the truth. So Canal X is trying to challenge the ideology that Black people deserve no reparations. Well, in fact, all these people think that Black people don't belong in the United States when Columbus lied to white people that he was the one who first stepped the foot in the United States, at the same time documenting that he saw Black people already on the land. So make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. With so many historical lies that has been shared in regards to Black people, So, brothers and sisters, just let me know what you'll think about this video, right? As you know, I'm your host and presenter Ejidok Stories, but until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.